Miss Shannon and Ashtyn, and we had something strange happen to us today. Something arrived on our doorstep.
And it was the true story of the three little pigs. Can't you believe it?
Well, we don't know, because we read the Three Little Pigs previously, if you remember. And now, this story appears. It's called The
Three Little Pigs, but it's the true story.
Oh my, let's see what happens. It says, the true story of the Three Little Pigs told by a wolf. Interesting. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story. Because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Interesting. Have you ever heard that it's important to listen to two sides of a story? You have one side and you have the other side. And it's always important to listen to both sides of the story.
Yep.
Well, this is the story told by the wolf. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Would you like to read it? Go ahead.
Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too.
Raise your hand if you've eaten cheeseburger in the last couple of weeks. Let's see what happens. Sorry. But like I was saying, this whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. You need sugar for your cake. Wonder what's gonna happen. And whoa, what a mess.
Don't make messes like that in your kitchen, or your parents are gonna be mad at you.
Well, if they're working with their parents, it's okay to make a mess. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig. Sounds familiar. And he wasn't too bright either. He has built his whole house out of straw. I mean, can you believe it? Who in his right mind builds a whole house out of straw?
So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it felt right, and I didn't want to just walk into someone's house else. So I called little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake.
That's when my nose started to itch. You ever have that itchy nose? I felt a sneeze coming on. When I huffed and I snuffed, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Think it, blow it in your hand, hold it, and let's find out. and I sneezed a great sneeze.
And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of the straw was the first little pig dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time.
What? It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. What? I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. The neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. You see?
I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down, just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig dead as a doornail.
Wolf's honor.
Wolf's honor.
The wolf is not lying according to this story. Let's see what happens next. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Now, you know food will spoil. Food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little big brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. I called Mr. Pig. Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. I can't believe
That's just rude.
Let's see what happens. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar and he wouldn't give me one little cup for my dear old sweet granny. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. What?
That is mean.
Let's see what happens. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door. You talked about my granny. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. I was upset, said the wolf. The rest, as they say, is history. They called him the big bad wolf because of that. Oh, man. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going around borrowing a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So let's jazz it up a bit. And let's huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. And that's it. That's the real story. I was framed. Imagine that. This whole time we thought the 3 little pigs were innocent. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. And that's the end of the story that we received. The true story of the 3 little pigs. I hope you enjoyed our story today and it makes you think. You have 2 sides to every story.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to the other side of the story of the 3 little pigs and then the wolf side of the story, and you tell us what you think of the 2 sides. Which side do you think is the true side? We hope you enjoyed our story today.
Yep.
Until we see you again, we miss you and we're thinking about you, and we want to send peace to your house from our house. Peace.